everything for the sanity in my life. You have to be very quiet, okay? Hello?
Good morning, Christina.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Not bad. All right. How are you doing today?
Doing good. I got up early. I was starting to, I went over all the 8 parts of speech and reviewed that we had went over before.
Okay, well, we're going to go over, first thing we're going to do is go over the number code terms.
Okay.
I know we've done it before, but I just want to be sure that you got that down, because that's the foundation. Learning the syntax is the foundation of everything. And learning the syntax is basically what you're doing is you're just identifying what part of speech each word is.
Definitely, yep.
And in doing so, in their stuff, you're proving that there is no nouns, which proves that there is no facts, which proves that it's false and misleading statements.
Got it.
You can't have a contract or an agreement or anything without a fact.
Right.
I mean, it's not possible. So anyways, that's what we'll go to that number code terms page. Okay. I'm just going to bring it up here so I have it in front of me as we go over that here together.
Okay. Yep. And so whenever we go over, or if I go over my own documents, do I syntax each of those sentences for all those pages?
Yeah, you got to syntax your evidence. That's your evidence. Your evidence is against them is the paperwork that they served on you.
Yeah, and that's every page in one document. There could be several.
Yeah, that's the proof that they lied.
Got it.
You see, and that's what you want. You want to prove that they lied, because you see, if you hold that paperwork up, you prove that paperwork is all fraudulent. Well, then they can't very well hold it up as something. Oh, well, look who we got here. What do you got there? You committed a crime.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for your confession.
Yeah. Got it.
And then they get real sheepish all of a sudden. I've made 3 judges get up and run from courtrooms.
Yeah, that's the plan.
So, I mean, it's actually, it gets to be fun, because you almost feel sorry for the scumbags, because that's what they are, just a bunch of stinking, dirty scumbags.
Exactly. I want them to know that I know this stuff, that I'm calling them out on it.
Yeah, you're a stinking liar. But the thing is, you're not going to be talking to them,
right?
Because we don't go to the courts. Courts are closed.
Right.
The courts are closed in the martial law since 2004.
Right. I've watched all the generals' videos. I've been keeping up, studying as much as I can.
Okay. Well, all right. If you turn your record on the bottom right-hand corner, there's a button there that you should light up that you can turn on the recording, so you can record the session. Now, that recording only lasts for 30 days, so you have to download it and take it some afterward to study, otherwise it's gone.
Okay, got it. It's recording.
All right. Okay, now if you look at the top of the number code terms page there's 2 sentences on top. And the first one says, for the number -code -terms of the word -syntax -operation. Well, that's not a sentence, it's a fragment of a sentence, okay? Because it ends right where the verb would be. The second sentence for the numbering -operation of a space -consolidation are with the claim by the claimant. That is a perfect sentence, okay? Because a sentence got to be a minimum of 13 words, because otherwise you can't get to anything. You can't get to any facts. Okay. Now, let's say, for example, that you and I were in jail and we're passing notes under the door, and you send me a piece of paper on it that says the word cat. Well, any word that stands alone is a pronoun. It's all these idiots running around now. Oh, my pronouns are his and her, or my pronoun. They don't know what a frickin' pronoun is. They're a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, right.
See, a pronoun doesn't have any meaning. It's because it's a simulation of a fact. You see, there's a cat out there someplace.
Right.
We don't know what it is. It's a kitty cat, a bulldozer, we don't know. Caterpillar, what is it? We don't know. And we can't get to a fact with one single word.
Right.
You can't claim information. That's a fact, really? No, it's not. How can it be a fact? See, it has to have that set of the prepositional phrase, you see. So if I send that note back to you, well, I don't know what you mean by a pronoun cat. I don't know what that is. And you send it back to me, well, you go, well, the cat. You put the on there. Well, see, the is a half of a phrase. You see, you've got your phrases of the, with the, on the, at the, for the, by the. So those are your phrases.
Yeah, prepositional phrase, yeah.
Prepositional phrase. Now, if you take one half of any one of those phrases away, the other half left over becomes an adverb. And adverbs are modifiers. They modify the word ahead of them, and they modify the word following them. So, in this case, the is an adverb which modifies the verb cat. What the heck's it? Oh. Excuse me.
Okay.
So now you've modified it from a pronoun to a verb. But a verb is an action. So how could you possibly have a verb cat? Am I gonna go outside and cat the sidewalk or the lawn? Like what do I do? Cat my supper here at lunchtime? What do I do? It doesn't make any sense. It can't. Okay. So I sent it back to you. Well, I don't know what a verb cat is. I don't know what you mean by that. And so you send it back to me. Go, well, for the cat. Well, now you've prepositioned the noun. You see, for the cat, you have that preposition to set it up as a noun, but it still has no real meaning because we still got to get to we still can't establish anything with one phrase and one word. For the cat. There has to be another phrase, you see. So we have to keep going through. And the rule is, and it works out that way. A minimum of 13 words will get you to the fact, will get you to a comprehension. So now you've got a phrase for the cat. Now before you can have another noun there, another known, you'd have to have another phrase. So we'll go of the, for the cat, so we'll say at the, in this case, at the farm. For the cat at the farm. Now you've got two phrases, you see. So now you can put your verb in the sentence because the verb is the thinking. What's going on with the cat? Why is the cat there? What does it mean? Okay. Well, you got to have the thinking. So we use two verbs. We use is for singular and are for plural. If I said cats with an S, well, then it would be are. But I said cat, so we'll go with is. So now you got for the cat at the farm is. Well, now before you can have another noun, you would have to have another prepositional phrase. So after the verb is always possessive, so it's going to be with the. For the cat at the farm is with the catch of the, see, you got to keep going with your possessional phrases, of the mice with the skill by the cat. And the reason I did that is because, you see, if you look at the sentence here, the second sentence down, for the numbering hyphen operation, okay, well, there's your first phrase, for the numbering hyphen operation. See, and now you start over again. Okay, and there's your second phrase, of a space hyphen consolidation. And then come your verb. Then you have to have the other prepositional phrase, possessive, which is there with the claim. And then the last one, by the claimant. Okay, and that sentence is perfect. You can use that as a guide to create other sentences because it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with that sentence. You can just substitute your facts in there. Okay, now the thing what I was getting at with the cat, for the cat at the farm, is with the catch of the mice, you can't have an of the before the by the, so it has to go to back to with the. See, and you can't just when you create a sentence, and I sent you another page there called for the operational method of a sentence structure that explains that. You can't simply write a sentence with the, or of the. It has to have cause and effect, you see. So you could add another phrase into this sentence, but you can't just add one, you'd have to add two in order to bring it back to with the in front of the by the. Okay. With the claim of the car, and then you'd have to go back to with the authority by the claimant. You see? It would have to be in there. Now, if you take the numbers on the side, you can correct syntax grammar sentences, and that's what the whole idea is this about, that you can take any sentence and you can identify what part of speech each word is so that you can identify what is fraudulent grammar and you can identify what is correct grammar. And this sentence would be incorrect grammar. Well, if you go down the side here, the numbers here, you come down to 5. Well, 5 is position. Okay? And that would be the first word would be for. And then the second word, 6, is lodial. Okay? That would be the. Now, lodial, you can look up the word allodial, but we don't use that word because we don't use the ALL.
Okay.
Because ALL would be a negative condition of state, and you can't have a negative in a contract because there's no such thing as a negative.
Right.
Okay? No such thing as a no.
Got it.
Okay, so then now the next is 7 is fact. Okay, so there you'd have 4 would be 5, the would be 6, and then numbering hyphen operation is 7. Then it starts over again. Of would be 5, I would be 6, and space hyphen consolidation is 7 is your fact. Okay, then you got R is 2, that's your verb. Okay, then it starts over again. With is 5, the is 6, and claim is 7. By is 5, the is 6, and claimant is 7. See, so just the syntax of this sentence is 567, 567, 2, 567, 567.
Okay.
Now, you can add phrases, like I said, you can make a sentence here that is a whole page long as you don't break that syntax.
Okay.
You have to have that cause and effect, by the, with the, or with the, of the, and you can insert other ones on the, at the, in the, you can put those in there, but, but those are surrounded by with the, on each end, that is a with the.
Okay.
Anyways, that page, the number code, or the operational methods of a sentence structure, that page explains all of this stuff. And I don't spend a lot of time on it because it's so simple. It's so simple, it hurts. Okay. The hard part is figuring out what they're trying to say, because they're gibbering. They're trying to mislead you. Lawyers go to school to know this, so that they purposely write things that don't have any facts in them, because a fact would make them liable.
Okay.
And that's the one thing they want to avoid at all costs, is liability.
Right.
But this technology now, you can identify what they're saying and prove that they're lying, which brings the liability back to them. They have no place to go. They can't get out. They're on the losing side. Okay? They can never be on the winning side as long as you have this knowledge.
Right.
Okay, so now if we start at the top again, number equals terms. Okay, so conjunction, a zero is a conjunction. There's only the two, and an or.
Okay.
And that middle slash, the forward slash there,
yep,
means and. So, and the backward slash means or. Straight up and down means exactly this, and or.
Okay.
Okay? Now, after the word adverb, one is an adverb, but after the word adverb, it shows you patterns. It shows you numbers there.
Yeah.
Well, the first one, and the arrows are not mathematical. They're not greater than or less than. They're just showing a direction.
Right.
Okay? So that's telling you that twos follow ones. Verbs follow adverbs.
Got it.
Okay? That's your first pattern. It's a 1-2. The cat. Okay? That's an adverb verb. Okay? A car. Adverb verb. The house. Adverb verb.
Okay.
Excuse me. I took a drink of water there and I got something down the wrong pipe.
That's okay. Okay.
Okay, so that's the 1-2 is the first pattern, 1-2. The second pattern it shows you there is 1-3-4. Well, that would be two words following the adverb. Okay?
Right.
If you have the green car, well, that would be a 1-3-4. Adjective pronoun, adverb, verb, adverb, adjective pronoun. Okay, now what it's not telling you here is that you can have whole strings of adjectives. You can have threes can go on and on and on. You can have sentence. If there's a sentence that there's no more adverbs, then they're all adjectives. And it could be 1, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4. But the last one will always be a 4. If you have a string of words that there's no adverbs in it at all, then they're all going to be threes, and the last one will always be a 4.
Okay.
Okay, so that's your second pattern. All right, now the third pattern it shows you is 4-1-2. Well, that's the same. If you look at that, it's exactly the same as the first pattern, except it has a pronoun in front. So, and that's a very common pattern. For example, statement of claim. Will of be the adverb modifying the verb claim, and in front of the adverb comes a pronoun. So remember, a pronoun is any word that stands alone,
Right.
or pronouns come in front of adverbs.
Okay.
Okay. And then you look at the same pattern again. The next pattern, the fourth pattern there, is 4, 1, 3, 4. Well, again, it's the same as the second pattern, 1, 3, 4, except it's got a pronoun in front.
Okay.
Okay. There's another. That just means that there's another word there. That's all. So it becomes a pronoun, and that's the patterns. Now the last one, it shows you 4, 1, 1, 1, 3, 4. Well, that's just showing you the same pattern as the fourth pattern. It's just showing you that there can be a multiple of adverbs up to 3. You can have 3 adverbs together. No more, though. You don't do more than 3 adverbs. And we'll get into that. I'll show you that. It's easy. But that's all that's showing you, that you can have as many. That's the only thing you can have multiples of is 3s and 1s. That's it.
Okay.
There's no multiples of 4. There's no multiples of 2 ever. Okay. These are the patterns that you find, and these are the only patterns that you find. So you don't have to worry about finding different ones or being confused. There's only these patterns. Okay. Now they're not going to show up like this. They're going to show up in pieces. In a whole sentence. It's going to be a little more difficult to sort them out, but it doesn't matter. It's easy to do. We'll show you here. And that's what it's saying here. See, an adverb modifying action syntax. It modifies. An adverbs are causing the modification. Okay, changing a fact into a verb. Right. The cat. You can't have for the cat, you go the cat. Well, now it's a verb. Or adjective syntax. There's your second pattern, 1, 3, 4. Void fact equals void contract equals alien word context syntax. AD prefix equals no verb, no thinking. Okay, and the AD prefix adverb. There's just showing you that the word adverb itself is screwed because the prefix AD is means no.
Right.
So, and the thing is, and that comes, if you go look up in your dictionary, go and check the word a as a prefix. Okay. The word a on its own is fine, but as a prefix, it means no.
Right.
And I actually got that. I found that in Smithsonian Magazine, where they were explaining that and talking about Amazon. And they said in the story there that Amazons were these warrior women that you know back in ancient Greece or whatever, and that they would carve off their breast because it would interfere with their bow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's commitment, I'll tell you.
Yeah, tell you what.
But anyway, that's what they call them. The Greek word for breast is mesos. Mm-hmm. And so the A means without. So that's what they called the Amazon, without breasts.
Oh, wow.
That's where that came from. So whenever I'm standing in a group of people watching fireworks, they're all saying, amazing, incredible. I stand there and people start looking at me because they go, wow, that's amazing. Wow, that's credible.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, my goodness.
Because we babble. We really do. We babble. We don't know what the hell we're saying. Like all these idiots running around, my pronouns are this. You don't know what a pronoun is, idiot.
Gosh,
but that's been done on purpose. That's been done to confuse people even more. That's why they got Grammarly and other sites like that to try and Grammarly itself is an adverb because it ends with ly. Any word that ends with ly is an adverb.
Right.
Okay. All right, so now we got number 2 on the list is your verb. There's only 2 verbs, as I said, is for singular and are for plural, and that's your thinking. You can't have a sentence without a verb in it and you're allowed 1 verb per sentence, not more. Okay. Okay, next one is 3, which is an adjective. An adjective is a descriptive coloring word, like green car. That'd be an adjective pronoun. And you can see if I take green car as 2 words, adjective pronoun, if I hyphenate the thing, now it just becomes 1 pronoun because it becomes 1 thing. See? Yeah. With that hyphen in the middle. So, and then, like it says here, illusion and fiction, void, omit, ADV equals no contract. Alien, AD prefix, check means opinion. Tiv is contract. So no opinion contract.
Wow.
That's what it means. Okay, now we already went over pronoun, but if you look at pronoun, the prefix PRO means no, no means no, and UN means no. So pronoun means no, no, no.
Wow.
They're telling you without telling you. It's all out in the open.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and then everything I told you there about the pronoun is there. When a noun syntax is a fact, is with the placement before the second noun syntax, then the first noun syntax is with the changing into an adjective modifier syntax, with the changing of the following noun into a pronoun by the coloring modification or opinion modification from an original fact. What he's telling you there is that if you put two facts together, like green car, one will modify the other, so you wind up with an adjective pronoun.
Right.
Violation ticket, adjective pronoun, you see?
Okay.
Anytime you put two facts together with no prepositional phrase, you wind up with an adjective pronoun, which means nothing.
Got it.
Only nouns are facts, okay? It's the only way it can be. There can't be any other way, and what we're talking about is order of operation. And if you don't have order of operation, you have nothing. It just all blows into the wind. It all turns to BS. And now, in the order of operation, if you ask in math, you say, what's 4 plus 4 times 4? Well, everybody gets that question wrong because nobody remembers their order of the operation.
To multiply first.
Yeah, you multiply first. So the correct answer is not 32, it's 20.
Right.
So, that just as a demonstration to show you this is order of operation we're talking about. So grammar's the same way. The order of operation, you must have that prepositional phrase, the 5, 6, 7.
Okay.
In order to boom. Got some construction going on.
On the apartment next door, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, well then the rest, 8 is past time and 9 is future time. And then the rest, I'll let you go through that on your own because it's just explaining everything we're going to go through here. The quotation is avoid content, brackets is closed content, parentheses is omitted content. They're all omitted content. There's nothing in them.
Yeah, okay. So like all our depositions with everyone's witness testimonies and stuff, they're all written in boxes.
Yeah, they're not on the page because
right.
They can't have that.
Right.
They can't have facts. They can't deal with facts.
Right.
Okay, let's jump to the Facebook terms page, and we'll start going through that now. And just with this in mind here, and you'll see that it's so simple it hurts. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down the page to the second bold heading that says connect you with people and organizations you care about. Okay. We'll start with that paragraph because that's got some good lessons in it that you need to learn.
Okay.
Okay, let me know when you're there.
Yep, I'm ready when you are.
Okay, perfect. All right, so people look at this and they think, oh, it's just this, oh, look at all these words, it's so complicated, where do I start? Well, it's easy, simple and easy. All you do, the first thing that you do is you go on a hunt. You go through your sentences and you find your conjunctions, okay? So we help you find and. Well, there's one, so you can put a 0 above that and. And the interesting thing to note is that your syntaxing stops at that conjunction and starts again following the conjunction.
Right.
So right now you've broken the paragraph down into some little pieces. You have the first sentence you have to syntax is we help you find.
Okay.
And the second sentence is connect with people because there's another stop. There's a comma there. That stops it.
Right.
Okay, now we have word, comma, word, comma, word, comma. Well, that's a list, and I'll show you what to do with a list in a little bit here. But right now we'll just carry on because the first thing you do is you go through your paragraphs and you find your conjunctions. Okay. So after organizations, it looks like a conjunction, but it's not a conjunction because of that comma. It's not conjuncting anything, you see? So it's going to wind up being a part of speech, but we don't know what that's going to be yet until we do the next step, which is finding the adverbs. Because it's the adverbs that are causing the modification, you see? Okay, so we'll go through that. Others that matter to you across the Facebook part of your use, stop. There's a period. That's stop. Then it starts again. We use the data we have to make suggestions for you. Stop. Now that's a stop because there's another conjunction there.
Right.
Okay, so you can put a 0 above that one.
Okay.
And then others, and then there's a long dash. We'll come back to that. And then we got, for example, 2 words. Well, that's your sentence. Stop, because there's a comma.
Okay.
Groups to join. Stop at the comma. Events to attend. Stop. There's a comma. Okay, pages to follow. Or, well, there's another conjunction. So you can put a 0 above that. Okay. But all you have to syntax there is pages to follow.
Right.
And it starts again, send a message to, stop. There's another comma. Shows to watch, stop. And then there's another fake conjunction. It's not a conjunction because it's following a comma.
Right.
So it's not conjuncting anything. This is tricks that they play. This is lawyers write this stuff. And they do this stuff on purpose so that they confuse and so that people don't know. It doesn't mean anything. It has no meaning. There's no facts here. Okay, stop with the period. Stronger ties made for better communities. Stop. Another fake conjunction. And we believe our services are most useful when people are connected to people. Stop. Okay, now there's a short list, comma, word, that's making a list. And I'm going to show you what to do with the list here soon here. But now we have another fake conjunction at the end, and then that comes to the end of the sentence as a period. Now, what we've done, and some people use fences, and you can try this too, at those commas and those stops, you can put a little vertical line there to show that's where your syntaxing ends, and you put like on the or, you can put a fence on both sides, so the or is a zero, and on each side of it there's syntaxing. Okay, it stops at the fence and starts again at the fence.
Got it.
Okay. Now, you don't have to do that. I don't use them anymore, but to start off, it might help to see when you look at the paragraph, you can see that you've broken the paragraph down into these little pieces.
Okay. Got it.
Which makes it far easier to syntax.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the next thing you want to do is find your adverbs, because your adverbs, like I said, that's what causes the modification. So that's what you need to find next. Now, that's the hardest part, and it's not that it's hard, it's easy. It's just that it's unfamiliar to you. Okay? So, and your adverbs are words that are basically words that are possessional and positional. Like I, our, your, you, we, all those words are possessional. And those can all be adverbs in the sentence. Now, I say can be because it depends upon the syntax, which I'm going to show you here.
Okay.
Otherwise, like on, in, at, over, under, beneath, those can all be adverbs because those are positional, right?
Okay.
Where is positional? When is positional? Those are all adverbs. Okay. There, that's positional. All right. So we go through the sentence. The first one we have to do is really hard. It's 4 words. We help you find it.
Yeah.
So out of those 4 words, what do you think are your adverbs there?
We or you?
Yeah, those are your adverbs. That's correct.
Okay.
Okay, so you can put a 1 above each one of those.
Okay.
Now, as I said, your adverbs cause the modification. So when you find that thing, you look at your patterns on the number code terms page. Anytime you have a single word, just one word, following an adverb, it's always a verb.
Okay.
So that tells you that help is a verb. And it's between 2 adverbs. Every time you find one word like that between 2 adverbs, it's always a verb.
Got it.
Okay, and now find is the same way. It's a single word at the end of the sentence following an adverb. So the only thing it can be is a verb.
Okay.
So that syntax is a 1-2, 1-2.
Got it.
Adverb, verb, adverb, verb. The state of Montana. Adverb, verb, adverb, verb.
Okay.
See? Correct would be for the state of the Montana. You see?
Okay. Got it.
How simple that is and how they fuck it all up.
Yeah. Okay.
Lawyers. I think lawyers should be gathered all up at their London gathering at the bar in London and then nuke the place.
Oh yeah, I'd drag them all through the streets. Yeah, for sure.
Be doing the whole world a favor. Okay, so now we start with after the conjunction. We know that's a 0, so now we start with we got 3 words to syntax: connect with people. So out of those 3 words, what do you think your adverb is?
People?
No, it's with.
With.
Positional.
Positional.
Or possessional. See, with is positional, right?
Okay, got it.
So, if you look at your number code terms page, you look at your 3rd pattern, there it is right there. People is a single word at the end of the sentence following an adverb, which means it has to be a
verb.
Verb, correct. Same as find what. Okay, now what did we say comes in front of adverbs? And all four of the last four patterns in there tell you, we went over that, what goes in front of an adverb. It's your third pattern there.
Pronoun.
Correct. So that's a 412. Same as statement of claim, welcome to Facebook, terms of service. Those are all 412s.
Okay.
You know, certificate of birth, that's a 412. Certificate of death, 412. Those are all that's a very common pattern. You find it everywhere. Okay. Now we have a list. Word, comma, word, comma, word, comma. When you have a list of words like that, it's single words, because as soon as it changes to double words, it changes it. But we all have single words here, so we'll go with that. So when you have a list of words like that, the syntax of the words follow the condition of the last word in the sentence. In this case, the sentences connect with people, and the last word is a verb. That means that groups is a verb, business is a verb, and organizations is a verb. If the last word in the sentence is a pronoun, then all those single words are pronouns.
Okay.
Or if it changes, if it goes, let's say it says connect with people, comma, groups, green businesses, well, green businesses would switch to adjective pronouns. It's got to be a 3-4.
Okay.
Then that means that organizations is going to be 4.
Okay.
Because the last word in the sentence in front of it is the 4, so it's 4. So the words in a list like that can either be verbs or pronouns. That's it.
Okay.
That's all they can be. They can't be anything else. They can't be adjectives, well, unless there's double words. We'll get to that.
Sure.
I'm going to show you that here. Okay, so now we're at the end of organizations, except we've got organizations, and we've got like or as a conjunction is fine, but as a prefix it means no. It's a vowel and 2 consonants. So what I do is I strike through the offending vowel and 2 consonants. I strike through the OR, just a strike through, and then I put an NC above it, or no contract, because you can't have a no in a contract.
Got it.
That word says no organizations. Well, whatever that means, I don't know.
Right.
You can't have that. You wouldn't put that in a fact contract, and so in their work doesn't mean anything. Okay, so we got and others that matter to you across the Facebook products you use. Period. Now we can start at the front and we can start syntaxing from the front. But what is very helpful with syntaxing sentences is if you start at the end of the sentence and work your way forward. Especially in this sentence, because in this sentence, we have a problem area. Right in front of Facebook products there, it says, to you across the. Mm-hmm. Well, all 4 of those words can be adverbs.
Yeah.
But you can't mark them all as adverbs because your limit is 3 in a row.
Okay.
Right? You can only have 3, so you can't mark them all. So how are you going to do that? Well, how are you going to do that is by process of elimination. You're going to eliminate the rest of the sentence by syntaxing the rest of the sentence. And you're going to work your way forward to the problem area, and then you're going to stop and work your way backwards to the problem area, and it will sort itself out. Okay? That's one of the reasons I use this paragraph. Okay, so we start at the end. We have period, use period. Well, we know that use is not an adverb. Okay? So we move ahead of the word use, we have you. Well, you can be an adverb. We already know that it can be adverb. That's possessional. So we have there a sample, again, of a single word at the end of a sentence following an adverb, which means that use have to be a
verb.
Correct. It's got to be a verb. And because there's a period there, it's a dangling participle verb. Okay? Help wasn't to DPV, find wasn't to DPV, and people wasn't to DPV, but use is because of the period.
Okay.
And the reason for that is that there can be no assignment of the verb following a full stop.
Right. Okay.
That's full stop. That's period. That's full stop. There's nothing after that. So it's just dangling there. It's a dangling participle verb. So that's be a 2 DPV. Okay, so now we start at the U. We've got our adverb there. That's a 1. We've got that marked as 1. And use is the 2 DPV. Yep. And so now we go ahead of U. Well, the first word there is product. Well, that can't be an adverb because it's a place, person, thing. right? Should be a noun, but it's, and then we go ahead of that, we've got Facebook is the place for the thing word. Can't be an adverb again. So now we go ahead of that, we've got the. Well, the can be an adverb. The is generally an adverb. So when we put a one above the, then if you look at it, you've got two words between the two adverbs. And that's your second pattern, right? It's the same rule that I explained above. Anytime you put two facts together, one will modify the other, so you wind up with an adjective pronoun.
Yeah.
So we know that in front of the adverb you, in front of that's got to be a pronoun. So products is a pronoun. And the only thing that can come in front of a pronoun is an adjective.
Yeah.
So that tells you that Facebook is a 3.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's there. Part of that sentence is a 1, 3, 4, 1, 2.
Yeah.
And in there, we have another negative there, PRO. PRO means, the prefix means no.
Okay.
No ducks. So we strike through the PRO and put an NC above it.
Right.
No contract.
Got it.
Right? Can't have a no in a contract. All right. So now we're going to go ahead to the start of the sentence, because now we've got the picked as an adverb. We've got to you across. They can all be adverb, but we can't do that. So we go to the front of the sentence and work our way back to this area, which will force it into the light. Okay. So we got and others that matter to you across. All right, well, we know that and is not a conjunction. It should be, but we don't know what that's going to be yet until we find the adverbs. Well, okay, others can be an adverb, and that can be an adverb.
Yeah.
Matter can't be, because that would be a place, person, thing word again. So we know that can't be an adverb. So we got two words there at the front of the sentence that can both be adverbs. Now, when you find two words at the start of a sentence that can both be adverbs, you can't mark them both as 1-1, because the second adverb back will modify the one in front of it to a pronoun.
Right. Okay.
Because it's the adverbs causing the modification. So we would put our 1 above that, and then others is going to be a 4.
Okay.
And then the only thing that comes in front of a 4 is
3.
We just did 3. So that means that's is an adjective.
Okay.
And others in this syntax, there we got that vowel to consonants again. So we got to strike through the OT and put NC above it, no contract.
Got it.
Okay. All right. So we've got a 3-4-1. Well, now we've got matter, which can't be an adverb. We go to the next word in the sentence is to. Well, to is an adverb in future time. It's a 1.9. And so now we have matter is sandwiched between two adverbs, the same as help was, which means it has to be a.
Would that be a verb?
Correct. Got to be a verb. The only thing it could be is a verb.
Got it.
Okay, it can't be an adjective pronoun because there's not two words, it's just one word. Right? And it's between the adverbs, so it's got to be a verb. It can't be anything else. Okay, so now we've got everything done except 2 words left. We've got you across. Now, there's 3 ways of doing this, because those can be adverbs, so but you can't put 4 in a row, so there's 3 ways of doing this, and all 3 are correct. You could make you as another adverb, because you can have as many as 3 together. So you could go 1-1 there. And then across would be the same as matter just was, a single word between 2 adverbs, which means that it would have to be a verb.
Okay.
Right? So it would be 1-2-1.
Okay.
Right? Or we could pick across as the other adverb. Across the could be 1-1. And then you would be the single word between 2 adverbs, which would make you a verb.
Okay.
Right? So it could be a 1-2-1-1. Or you could treat it the same as you did Facebook products, 2 words between the 2 adverbs, which means one would modify the other to an adjective pronoun, which means across would be a pronoun and you would be it would be an adjective. So it could be a 1-3-4-1.
Got it.
Okay, so you got 3 patterns that could all be there, and all 3 are correct.
Okay.
So that's where I show you how to sort that out. You get an area like that where you have a bunch of words that can be adverbs together. That's how you sort it out.
Okay.
You start syntaxing from the end to the area, to the problem you're having, and then you start syntaxing from the front, and then you see how that forced it to flesh out.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, the only other problem in there, we have across. We got that single ac again, which was a no, so the AC is a strike through and no contract.
Got it.
All right. So now we go to the next sentence after the period. We go, we use the data to make suggestions for you. Stop. Now, this is a good sentence to syntax. And so what I want you to do is kind of look at it, because that's why I keep stopping and asking you questions. I leave the answer blank to force you to think, because if I just tell you the answers, it doesn't help you.
Right.
Okay, so what do you think your adverbs are in that sentence? And you don't worry about making mistakes. That's fine. It don't matter.
Would be we.
Correct.
Now we have a couple of those, we and you. Maybe for could be an adverb.
Correct. For can be an adverb and you can be an adverb. But the same rule applies at the end of the sentence as it does at the front. When you have two adverbs together, you don't mark them as one, because the adverbs are causing the modification.
Right.
So the adverb for is you is a single word at the end of the sentence following an adverb, which means it has to be a
following an verb.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's a 1, 2.
Okay.
Well, that flushes out right there. And as you pointed out, we is an adverb, the is an adverb, and to is an adverb in that syntax. So if you go through there and you mark a 1 above the first we, and a 1 above the, and a 1 above the second we, and a 1.9 above the 2, well, now that sentence syntaxes itself. Because use and data and have are all between a single word between two adverbs, which means they have to be
verb.
Verbs is correct. Now, have can be an adverb as well. So you could have we have two. You could have that as a 1, 1, 1, and that's correct.
Okay.
But the thing is, the writer chose to do 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm just sticking with whatever the writer did. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Okay.
You see?
Got it.
And now you have, and have is always past tense. It's a 1.8 in reality, or in this case, a 2.8.
Okay.
Now you're left with two words, make suggestions. So it's the same condition as Facebook products. The suggestions is in front of the adverb for, which means it would have to be a
pronoun?
Correct. And the only thing that comes in front of that pronoun suggestions has got to be a adjective make.
Right.
It's got to be 3, 4. So if you look at that syntax, that's a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Okay. And to note here that you've already disqualified this whole page. Because you can't mix fact and fiction. Just like if you say, for example, you say 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 times 0 is 0.
Right.
Okay? So you go fact times fact times fact times fact times fiction equals fiction. Right. The same thing. Okay, so now we're going to start here after the conjunction. We got one word, others. And then we have that long dash. And this is a trick these lawyers play, liars. I call them liars because they're just lie. That's all they're good for is lying.
Me too.
That is a space hyphen space. So that's what Russell calls a long dash. The continuance of the evidence rule is 2 spaces. Anything separated by more than 2 spaces has nothing to do with what's in front of it or what's following it. It's broken continuance. So, for example, it has nothing to do with the word others. And others is following a conjunction, so that means that others is the word standing alone.
Okay.
Which means it's a
pronoun.
Pronoun is correct. And it's also a no contract pronoun because others, OTH. So we do a strike through there, no contract. It's a pronoun and it's a no contract word. Okay. And they do that all over this page. You'll see in the paragraph above, they do this and they break, whenever they do a long dash like that, that exempts everything in that from following that long dash to the next long dash on the page. All that stuff is a break in continuance, has nothing to do with anything else on the page. So if you follow that down, it falls into the next paragraph, the second line of the next paragraph, stops to you, dash, for example. That's where it starts again. But from that long dash to that long dash, there's no continuance of the evidence between anything else on the page.
Got it.
And that's what liars do that on purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, for example, you should be able to syntax that on your own.
would be, for is our adverb.
Correct.
So we can put our one here above there. So that would make example our verb.
Correct, because it's a single word following an adverb. It's got to be a verb.
Yeah.
And the EX is a strike through. It's no contract. EX means no.
Right.
No ample.
Got it.
Okay, now the next ones, again, these are all easy ones. You should be able to do all these. Groups to join. There's your third pattern. Which one do you think your adverb is?
Two.
Correct. It's a 1.9. So join is a single word following that adverb, which means it has to be a verb, and groups is in front of the adverb, which means it has to be a
Pronoun.
Correct. 412.
Yeah.
And we got the next pattern. Events to attend. Looks like the same pattern to me.
412. Yeah.
412. And EV is no contract, and ATT is no contract.
Okay.
Okay. Now we go. There's the same syntax again. Pages to follow. Same thing.
Yeah. 412.
412. Okay. So now we follow it. We start up again after the conjunction. Send a message to. So go ahead and try and do that. It's just a little variation, but it's easy again.
So 2 at the end, would that be our adverb?
That can be an adverb, and is an adverb.
Okay.
Okay. So if you put ones above those, then the sentence syntax is itself.
Would be 2, 1, 2, 1?
No, it can't be a 2-1-2-1 because twos follow ones.
Yeah.
Verbs follow adverbs. They don't go in front of them. What goes in front of an adverb?
Pronoun.
Correct. So that means send's got to be a 4.
4, 1,
That'd be a 4, 1, 2, 1.
Yeah. Okay.
See that?
Got it.
Okay. Same syntax again. Shows to watch.
4, 1, 2.
412 is correct. And 2 is always a 1.9. Words like to, should, would, shall, may, they're all future tense. And you can't contract in the future. You can only contract in the now. That's why the correct sentence structure is always written, it's all written in now time. Now, in the now space.
Got it.
Because time is actually an illusion. There is no past, present, or future. We only have now. It's always now.
Right. Yeah.
You get that clock face with now on it. Now. It's all now. It's always now.
Right.
Okay, so now we have a fake conjunction there, and people we may want to become friends with. Stop. So now we can syntax that from the end again. We can start working at the back of the sentence and work our way forward. With, we know, can be an adverb. Friends is a place, person, thing word, so we know that can't be an adverb. But become, I gave you an adverbs guide list to help you with this. But become can be an adverb.
Okay.
And to, again, can be an adverb. What can't be, but may can be, and you can be. May is a 1.9 again. There's those words like shall, should, could, would, may. See, that's a future tense adverb.
Okay.
And people can't be. So if we mark a 1 above all the words that can be adverbs, we mark a 1 above you and a 1 above may, we're gonna have 2 together. That's fine.
Okay.
2 is a 1.9. Become is a 1.9. Become. See, friends with 1. If you mark all those 1, well then it syntaxes itself. It's just so easy.
Okay.
Friends is between 2 adverbs, which means it has to be a
2.
It's got to be a verb. It's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Want is between 2 adverbs, which means it has to be a 2.
Okay.
And then people is in front of the adverb you. So that has to be a 4. And the only thing that comes from a 4 is a 3. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
So that's a 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1.
Got it.
See that? And may is a 1.9 and 2 is a 1.9.
Right.
Okay, well, with the rest of the sentence here, it's pretty simple stuff here. So what I want to do is jump up to the top of the page to just expand a little bit on the continuance of the evidence rule.
Okay.
To show you that. When we do papers, we bond them together. So they're bonded together, so it's like a scroll. There's continuance of the evidence from one page to the next.
Okay.
But papers that are stapled or paper clipped or ring bound, that's considered loose pages.
Okay.
And loose pages, there's no continuance of the evidence from one page to the next.
Okay.
So at the end of every page in loose pages and at the start of every page is a VC for void continuance.
Okay.
Because there's no continuance of the evidence. So you see terms of service sitting up there at the top of the page. You don't see it connected to anything, do you?
No.
No, so that means there'd be a VC go right in front of terms.
Okay.
Okay? Now, so now we got terms of service, and you should be able to syntax that right now on your own.
So
Very common pattern.
412?
4012 is correct.
Nice.
Right? Because that would be your adverb, which would modify the verb service and modify the pronoun terms.
Okay.
So what does terms mean as a pronoun?
Right.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And what does service mean as a verb?
Right.
It's just again, it's BS. Now, the continuance of the evidence rule is 2 spaces. So now they obviously break it going to welcome to Facebook. That's broken. And it's broken by the spacing, and it's also broken by the font size change.
Okay.
Okay? That break continues. So that means there'd be a VC at the end of service. Well, so you put a VC right after following that E, well, then the question is VC to where? Well, VC to welcome. So there'd be a VC go in front of welcome to show from here to here. That's a void continuance.
Okay.
And so you got the same syntax again, simple and easy to syntax.
Okay. Yeah, 412.
412. And then the continuance of the evidence rule is 2 spaces, which they've broken to the next paragraph. So that means there'd be a VC at the end of Facebook. And the question, VC to where? Well, VC to these. So there'd be a VC go in front of these. And the next VC would be at the end of the paragraph, at the end of apply.
Okay.
There'd be a VC go there. And then it would have to be, they break in continuance again by the 2 space rule and by the font size change to our services. So there'd be a VC go in front of our. And you don't have to worry about the 1 because it's not qualified. It doesn't mean anything. You don't have to, it has no syntax value. It's just nothing. So you can put the VC in front of, on top of the 1 or between the 1 and the our. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And then, of course, there'd have to be a VC go at the end of services. And then it's VC to where? Well, VC to our mission. So it's VC to our in front of the next paragraph. And that's how it goes all the way down. Now, you don't have to worry about the bold. The bold doesn't mean anything. It has no meaning. So that's not a break in continuance. Okay, but the next break in continuance would be in the paragraph with the long dashes. And you can see just before the last word is experience, so you go ahead, you see find the long dash. So that's a VC.
Yeah.
You can put a VC on that long dash, and you can follow that all the way back up to the next one in the paragraph in front of, for example, you put a VC there. Mm-hmm. Okay, but the next one, it goes at the end of experience and in front of connect. And the reason for that, it looks like there might be one line between experience and connect, but look at the line spacing in the paragraph, what they've done.
Yeah.
Another trick that they play.
Yeah.
So that means that the spacing between experience and connect has got to be 2 spaces.
Okay.
So that's a break in continuance. Okay, so let's go back up top. So I just wanted to explain that to you so you understand void continuance. So when you're going through your syntaxing their stuff, remember to mark your VCs.
Okay.
Because it's a break in continuance. That's not connected to that. That's not connected to that. It has no meaning. They they want you to assume everything. Assume this and assume that. Well, you're not working in assumption. That's in Wonderland. You're stepping out of Wonderland now and you're becoming into the fact world. And in the fact world, it's just all facts.
Right.
Okay? I had my buddy say the other day, he was in Washington, and he could see the mountains in Canada. He said, I could see Canada. I said, yeah, you can see the fact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right.
Can't see the fiction, but you can see the fact.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to go to the top paragraph, which is these terms govern your use of Facebook products and stuff. So you see in that paragraph, in the middle line, there's a section in parentheses. Mm-hmm. Okay, and in the bottom line, there's a section in parentheses. Anything that's in parentheses is not there. It's not on the page. So you don't have to syntax it.
Okay.
You just strike it through. You just draw a line right through the center of the text.
Okay.
And on top of that line, write the word, go full colon, void, period. Because it's void. It's not there.
Okay.
Okay? And that applies to anything that's in brackets, anything that's in quotation, and anything that's in italics. They're not there. You don't have to syntax them. Just strike them through because they're not there. That's a trick that they play. They do that all the time. They'll make a sentence and then they'll put a second in parentheses and these, and it's not there. It's just bullshit.
Yep.
Just stinking liar. There's another liars at work. Liars at work.
Yep.
Okay, so now we got the next one in there, and not these. Well, again, same thing. Strike it through, mark it void because it's not there.
Okay.
Okay, which leaves. Now that leaves apply, sitting out there, hanging out there on the end, all by itself. Any word that stands alone is a
pronoun.
Correct. So that's a fourth pronoun. And the APP is no.
Okay.
So we strike through the AP and mark it NC above there, no contract.
Right.
Can't have a no in a contract.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go up to the sentence, the sentence ahead of the parentheses. If we go separate terms, or we go ahead, we start to get it. It says, except where we expressly state that separate term.
Okay.
Okay, so you go ahead and tell me what you think your adverbs are in that sentence.
Starting from the end of the sentence, I see.
We'll go up to except. Well, I don't care where you start from. What do you think are your adverbs?
I was thinking that, where, we.
Correct. Those can be where, is, and that. You definitely got it correct. But look at expressly.
Okay. Yeah, the ly is
ly. Words that end with ly, and that's another reason I chose this paragraph here. Words that end with ly with an ly suffix are adverbs. Always adverbs. They can't be anything but adverbs. Okay. Subsequently, consequently, sincerely, family. Those are all adverbs.
Okay.
They're all adverbs, and they cannot be anything else. It doesn't matter what the rest of the syntax is. They're adverbs. As a matter of fact, if you have 10 ly words together, they're all adverbs. Never mind the 3 adverbs together rule. The ly controls. So they would be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 if they were all ly suffix words. Now, the important thing to note here is, the lesson I want to teach here is that it's expressly is an ly suffix. But look at apply. How come expressed is an adverb but apply is not? See?
Yeah, good question.
The reason for that is that apply is not an ly suffix. It's not apply.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's apply. It's 2 syllables. The first syllable is app, and the second syllable is ply. So, and there's a few words like that: comply, supply, imply. Those are not adverbs because of an ly suffix, because they're not ly suffix. The second syllable is ply. Okay? So that's an important distinction to note. But all other ly words that end with ly are all adverbs, and they cannot be anything else.
Okay, that makes sense.
So you can put a 1 above expressly.
Okay.
And then obviously you can strike through ex because that's no. And on same thing on accept, that's no. So we'll just go there.
Okay.
So now you already picked that as an adverb, which tells you what state has to be.
A verb.
Syntax, it's got to be a verb. It's got to be 2.
Yeah.
And so now following that is your adverb, your last adverb. Now you have 2 words following the adverb, so that has to be a
adjective pronoun.
Adjective pronoun. That's got to be a 3-4.
Yeah.
You see how simple that is? It just, if it's 2 or more words, it's adjective pronoun. The last one's a pronoun, the rest is adjective. If it's 1 single word, it's a verb.
Yeah, got it.
How much simpler can you get? You can only go left or right. Which one is it? 2 words or 1 word? Well, it's 1 word. Well, it's a verb.
Right.
Okay, so let's go ahead of there. We've got except, where, we, and all 3 of those words can be adverbs. Okay, so you could go where, we, express. You could go 1, 1, 1. And that's not wrong. You could do that, which would make accept a pronoun. Or you could go and look at it like this. You could say, well, where is definitely an adverb. And there comes your rule again. 2 words at the start of the sentence that are both adverbs. The second one will modify the word in front of it to a pronoun. Mm-hmm. So if you mark where as an adverb, accept is a pronoun.
Right.
And then, like I said, we can be an adverb, so you could go 111. I'm not, like I said, that's not wrong. But the writer has shown a predilection to going adverb verb, so I'm just going to make that a 2 because most of the time, when you have 3 adverbs together, the middle one can be a verb.
Okay, got it.
Because it's between 2 adverbs.
Right, right.
So that would be, if we look at that, be a 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, 4.
Yep.
Simple, and the whole page is vacated and ready for fraud.
Yep. Got it.
Well, there's fraud on the page. Well, you didn't finish syntaxing it. Oh, you telling me there's a fact in this next paragraph? Show me.
Right. Not that it would matter because you can't mix fact and fiction.
Yeah. Go ahead, make my day.
Right.
Like, you can literally toy with these people.
Right.
And they can't even answer you. Even if you made a mistake, they can't answer you because if they say, well, see, this one, that's not an adverb, that's a pronoun. If they were to do that, that's a confession that they have knowledge.
Right.
And that means, yeah, we knew it was wrong, but we did it wrong. We knew it wrong, but we did it that way anyway. Well, that's a confession that they intentionally lied.
Right.
So their volition was to lie.
Right.
You see? So they can't say anything. They just got to stand there with their heads down.
Yeah.
Like I had a judge in a courtroom one time. He said to me, do you understand the crown is seeking in German? I said, what are you babbling about? I said, do you understand would be a pronoun adverb verb. The crown adverb verb is seeking adverb verb and adjournment adverb verb. What on God's green earth does adjournment mean as a verb? And the judge just calmly turned his face from me to the prosecutor and started talking to the prosecutor about something totally different because they cannot talk about grammar.
Right.
He had to change the subject.
Right.
Because he can't go there.
Right.
Which you don't have to worry about because we're not going into court. The paperwork is what speaks.
Right.
The judge said to me one time, he says, well, is that the end of your argument? And I go, what argument? I'm not arguing. I told you what is. It doesn't matter whether you hear me or not. Spoken word can't be qualified. My paperwork speaks. You've got the paperwork. Therefore, this case is done.
Right.
My business here is concluded, and I'm leaving.
In
and
2 weeks, they want us to be in court for even flow for oral argument.
Yeah, they want it for oral argument, which means nothing. Like in Canada, the Canada Evidence Act, the whole thing talks about viva voce evidence, which means the spoken word, which means nothing.
Right.
Can't be qualified.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, what are you babbling about? Spoken word can't be qualified. Go ahead, qualify that. How are you qualifying your facts?
Right.
And they just stare at you because they know where you're going and they can't go there.
Right.
Bunch of stinking, dirty scumbags. That's all they do is lie, and they make up all kinds of things. They'll make up all kinds of things. Oh well, you weren't, you weren't standing on one foot and biting your tongue on the left side when you did that. Therefore, it's not valid.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. These liars and these people that come up against me. It's the most malevolent shit I've ever witnessed.
Yeah. Well, when you got them this, I was standing in a courtroom one time, and the judge, I knew the judge. He was the prosecutor beforehand in that same case, but he became a judge, and so his name was John Higgerty. So I didn't call him. I was talking to him, I was calling him John. You know this is bullshit. And I said, I'm here for closure. And the prosecutor kept saying, we don't know what you mean. We don't know. I said, fuck off, you lying bitch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Language, but,
oh yeah, I know.
You know exactly what I mean. I want closure. Well, we think he means disclosure. Well, why would I want no closure?
Right.
Hey? Why do I want no closure? Are you telling me that discontent means content? Are you telling me that discontinue means continue? Why would I want no closure?
Right.
Disclosure. You liar.
Right.
And so I said, John, are you going to straighten this bitch out or what? Or do I have to backhand her?
Yeah.
And she's standing there hanging her head, and he says to her, he says, you can give that man, and it's very important when they say that man or that woman, because it's not, he didn't call me Mr. Schiller. See, because that's in the fiction. He cognized me as a live life claimant. You can give that man a disclosure package. So she reached into her briefcase and she handed me a stack of papers that she had clipped together. And she handed them to me. As soon as they were in my hands, I looked at her and I said, what? What the hell is this? This is all fraudulent grammar. Mm-hmm. So, and she's, and they're all hanging their heads. The cops are all on their feet looking because I'm talking loud. This is all fraudulent grammar. So let me get this straight. You can't tell this is fraudulent grammar because either you know it's fraudulent grammar, you do know and you're doing it anyway, which means you're knowingly committing a crime, or you don't know, which means you're incompetent. Right. And you have no business being here.
Right.
Which one is it?
Right.
And she just standing there looking at her feet. I said, well, the answer's not in your shoes.
Right.
And I said, I looked at the paper again. I started flipping through the pages. I said, well, I don't see your signature anywhere here. So I stuck it with my right arm. She was standing on my right side. I shoved it over under her face. So she was looking down. Now she had looked at the papers. They said, well, go ahead and sign that. It's got a signature on.
Right.
And so she turned her head further to the right. So I pushed the paper further to the right. I said, no, you go ahead. You put your signature on there.
Right.
Go ahead. And she kept looking to the right. So I was pushing the paper right around her. So it was still under her face. So she had to look at it. I said, you see that fraud? Yeah. You see that fraud? You liar. You stinking dirty liar. Yeah. And then I pointed at all the RCMP. And I said, so these people in the field lack knowledge. And that's your fault. Because you didn't tell them. Right. You didn't teach them. You know, so now you're going to let, their signatures are all over this, and you're going to let them go to prison for fraud, for perjury, but not you. You're not going to sign it because you're just going to keep your job and collect your paycheck and let them go to jail for lying, but you're going to stand there and stay out of it.
Right.
So go ahead and sign that.
So whenever, because I have all these law firms, and then I have names of, I have all kinds of individual people in these law firms, and like on our documents, I knew right away the men on these documents knew how, because when we went over syntaxing before, and I just a couple of these boxes and spaces and things I could go over quickly on my documents from General Motors and all this stuff, and how quickly you could see how they know they're doing this on purpose.
Yeah, it's intentional.
Yeah,
it's not an accident.
Yeah, it's not an accident by any means. And when I've mentioned it, they've come at me and said, oh, I'm sorry, someone has manipulated you to think that, and that.
Yeah. So you don't know how to read and write. Thank you for your confession.
Yeah.
You lying sack of shit.
Yeah.
Why don't you go do us all a favor and go get a pistol from one of these officers here and go in the back room, put it in your mouth and pull the trigger. Go ahead, kill yourself. Get out of here.
Right.
You're not worth anything. You're just a
Scum of
liar.
the earth. Right.
So go do us all a favor and end your life. You don't know how to read and write. Thank you for your confession.
Yeah. And there's a lawyer in his office here just outside of Detroit, and he knows I can't take any of them seriously when they were trying to speak to me, because everything they're like, oh well, we knew we were going to lose to General Motors, and I'm like, no, what do you mean we knew we were going to lose to?
Well, so you don't have to syntax all of that paper.
Right.
But what you got to do, you got to get the statement of claim.
Okay.
I know that's going to be big. I know it, but I'm sorry, but it's what we got to do. And we need General Motors statement of defense.
Okay.
And we need the final judgment for them getting out of it, because we're going to go after GM here. What we're going after the lawyers, the judges, the prosecutors, and we're going after GM and their lawyers. That's who we're going after. And your lawyers and your law firms, any paperwork that they submitted, we need to syntax too, and we need to go after them, because we'll put all their names on the amicus too, because they lied to you too. They took your money and lied. And see, when you do that, when you vacate what they put in, and you go after, and you're going to go after every member of the board of directors of that law firm, every single one of them, because they're all complicit, you see.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, because with the United States ending in 1999, that means that there's no more states. The states are gone, which means the laws, codes, rules, regulations of the states are gone, including licensing, which means their insurance companies are gone. So they don't even have a surety. They have no insurance. They're personally liable.
Got it.
It's going to scare the shit out of them that you know that.
Yeah, exactly. And the head honcho of this Corpus Christi law firm in Texas, his name's Bob Hillard of the Hillard Law Firm, and anytime I had seen him maybe once or twice, the last time, I knew I would never see him again. He said we were about to work very intimately and closely for this trial coming up, and I already had done my research, so I knew we weren't going to court. But he'd lie into my face, and he would mock this maritime law in front of me, or whatever. It might not maritime law, but he would mock these kind of we're going to get your feet wet and this is my wheelhouse.
And Go right ahead, buddy. You put
Yeah.
that in writing and give me a wet signature on that. Go ahead,
Yeah.
make my day.
Yeah.
Because they got no way out. I was in the Coots border crossing, and they were trying to fingerprint me. And they had 5 guards had me all bound up and trying to force my hand into a fingerprint machine they had sitting on the desk. And I thought, well, they're pushing my arm that way. I'll just let it go. So I just let it go, and my arm went into the fingerprint machine, knocked it flying, sent it off the desk, and it came up and smacked the guard beside me in the side of the face. I gave him a really good backhand.
Yeah.
And he twisted my arm behind my back, and he looked at me in the face like nose to nose. You do that again. I said, or what? You going to charge me? Go ahead. Put something in writing. Make sure it's got a wet signature on it. Go ahead. Make my day.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Come on. Go ahead. I was just scoffing at him. Like they have nothing.
Right.
They're just a bunch of actors, and they're posing and acting and pretending.
Right.
They have nothing. If they were outside right now, the 10 cops outside planting a ton of cocaine in the back of my truck, and they came in, we're charging you with drug cocaine, I'd just laugh at them.
Right.
You guys know who I am?
I have a question.
You want to go there?
I have.
Seriously?
I was curious. Now I have a little cousin that's actually. She's probably. I don't even know if she's 21 yet. Poor thing has gotten in so much trouble, and she had like these DUI. I don't know, 1 or 2 DUIs, and then her last car accident killed one of her friends. So now she's pending in jail right now for a prison sentence at 20 years old. I don't know.
Yeah, well, impaired driving is public safety, and we won't do public safety cases.
Okay, gotcha. I was wondering. I didn't know. I'm like, I think you got to serve your time on that one. I don't think there's anything you can do.
Yeah. You can't go molest a child and then use correct sentence structure to get out of it.
Okay, good.
Sorry, that's a crime.
Well, that's
and
good.
Going,
right. Okay.
You're going to jail.
Good. So there is. Okay. There's still some safety precautions over.
No, we can't go and correct is correct.
Okay, got it.
And we're not going to use this technology to help people that are trying to break the law.
Right, okay.
You can't do it. So impaired is out. You can't do that. DUI, that driving under the influence, you can't do that. Public safety breach. Now, if there's been no one damaged, she can still, once she does her time, she can still go after them and sue them on the grammar because they committed a crime. Because you committed a crime does not also authorize them to commit one.
Okay.
Okay? So she could still go and sue them on the grammar and get paid on the grammar because they weren't allowed to lie. Who said you could lie?
Yeah, I was just curious as far as that part of the system. Not that she deserves any mercy at the moment, but
no, she's got to learn her lessons, and that's unfortunately she's on her path, and we can't save everybody.
Right.
We can only save the ones like the CIA and the FBI got together and said, "What are we gonna do about Russell?" And they said, "Nothing. Don't participate." But for everyone that he gets involved with, we harvest another 250,000 people. So who cares? Business is good. Keep going.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Right.
And if they lose a guy here or there, a law firm here or there goes down, they don't care. There's laws to replace them.
Right. So
they just don't. These people have no morals, no conscience. I told my friend, one of my buddies, his best friend was an RCMP, and I said, get away from that guy, man. Those people have no morals and no conscience because of their job. Oh no, he's my best friend. I love him like a brother. We're really tight. Then he walks in at a birthday party in his house for him. He walks into his bedroom with his phone recording, catches his best buddy in bed with his wife.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, not to be trusted.
I told you, no morals, no conscience.
Right. Yeah, you'd have to be. That's why this lawyer, we went and go see multiple times here in Detroit, and he had all his pictures of his family, and then he'd have these I didn't even believe it. These rugby championship. This tiny, skinny little lawyer. I'm like, he's probably lying about all of it. I was like, he probably doesn't even have a family. Who knows what he's doing?
Yeah, well, all we know that we know for sure. No point speculating on that. We just know that he's lying on everything he does, and every court case is a lie. He's lying and cheating.
Right. I don't trust him. He knew I didn't trust him. As soon as we went to court and he kept looking down my aunt's shirt, I kept calling him a pervert, which is funny, but.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna do my homework here and gather my documents together, and I start practicing this.
Well, before you do that, what I would like you to do I'm going to give you a little homework assignment here. We'll book another appointment here. What I want you to do is I want you to go through the rest of this page here and syntax the rest on your own, using what you've learned, using the audio and using your notes, what you've already syntaxed. You can go ahead and extrapolate from that. You can figure this out and get the rest syntaxed. And then what we'll do the next time around, then we'll go over what you syntaxed, and I can point out where you're making your mistakes.
Okay.
And that will get you a lot further along. Then you'll be, by the time you're done with that, then you should be able to go and attack their paperwork and syntax it.
Okay, got it.
Okay, but that's the next thing I want you to do, because we got to do this piecemeal so we do it correct, right?
Right.
And so that's what we're going to do. Then we can syntax their stuff. And like I said, statement of claim, statement of defense, whatever GM put in there, and then the final, when GM got out, if there's any paperwork for that hearing or whatever. Mm-hmm. There had to have been an order for that, where the judge made an order exempting them out.
Yep.
Well, that you syntax that one.
Okay.
And won't worry about even flow or any of that stuff. We got to pick our battles, because this is going to be a huge amount of paperwork to syntax. And remember, each one of these people, you're going to have to send them multiple registered letters.
Right.
That gets expensive. So, I got 100 names. Well, yeah, but that's great. But really, you should pare it down, because really, per document, like I said, Title 15, 1692E is $25 million for false misleading statements. So each document they did, that's $25 million.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't need much, like you said. Yeah, just to grab, and the documents are so dense themselves. It's not worth trying
exactly.
to find.
And what you can do when you get big, long documents that are pages and pages long, you can syntax the first line of each paragraph, and then go through the paragraph, strike through the italics, strike through the parentheses, strike through those, mark them void. You can do all that. Okay. And anything in brackets, strike that all out. Anything in a box, strike it all out. And then just go through and syntax the first line of every paragraph. And then you got it, because they can't come back and say, well, you didn't do it all. Well, really, is there a fact in there?
Right.
And they won't. They won't say anything.
Okay.
They get so sheepish when this stuff appears, because they can't. It's a confession. It's an automatic confession.
So next time, if I email you to schedule again, what's that for our next lesson? What's the price on that you needed? I guess last time I said.
Well, I charge $50 US dollars an hour.
Oh, okay, so, I see.
So so you gave me 150. So we'll take 50 off of that for today, and then so I still owe you some time yet. So don't worry about that. We'll do the next one, and we'll book the next one now, I guess, if that's okay with you. So I'm looking. I book usually weekdays 10 and 1. So I've got next week. It's all open. Monday, Tuesday. It's all Wednesday. Or no, Wednesday. So I got Monday at 10 and 1. I got Tuesday at 10 and 1, and the rest of the week other than Wednesday. So I got Thursday and Friday next week.
Let's try Thursday again next week.
Okay.
Give me some time to go over that.
You want to go at the same time here then at 10?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. I'm marking that down in the book here now, so I have it.
Yeah.
And if you have a problem with that, give me as much notice as you can if you want to change it or cancel it or whatever, because I'm booking all the time. I'll be booking clients today here. I got a call this afternoon, so.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
So,
perfect. So I'll work on my homework here so we can rejoin, and I'll hopefully get that right so we can get moving on some other stuff.
Right, and I'll send you, after the next class, I'm going to send you the amicus. Okay. And the amicus, you'll see that's pretty self-explanatory. It's a one-page document, and that's where you're going to start adding these people's names. Okay. So see, the system is very simple. We take and we do the amicus curiae with the evidence, and so you create a stack there and for each one, and the stack goes evidence on the bottom. So the syntax evidence goes on the bottom. Then on top of that goes a copy of your claim of life. Then on top of that goes the amicus curiae, which you're going to bond that all together, and then you're going to mail that by registered mail to the nearest port authority.
Right. Okay.
Okay, then you're going to get the proof of service from USPS because you're sending it by registered mail. Then we're going to do a proof of service up. We're going to quantum proof of service. And we're going to put that, we're going to take the stock that you just sent to the Port Authority, and we're going to put proof of service on top of that, and then we're going to bond that all together, make copies of that, and that's what we're going to serve on each one of the people whose name is on that amicus.
Okay.
And once they get that, judges and lawyers, we can count down to 10 days, but everybody else gets 60 to 70 days.
Okay.
So we've got to count out that time. Once that's done, and they haven't stopped and corrected in that time, which they won't, because that would be a confession as well, then we're going to hit them with what's called a performance contract. And unfortunately, we don't give that performance contract away. It's we had to write that, so we do that with people that because you have to give them your terms. You have to tell them what you want.
Okay.
Right? Otherwise, there's no terms. And so we're charging $500 for that performance contract, which is, we think, very reasonable because, look what lawyers charge.
Right.
And the performance contract just lays out, put their names on it and sets their damages. Okay, well, you didn't stop and correct, so you damaged me here, you owe me for this, and you owe me for that, so I'm claiming $25 million for this document, I'm claiming $25 million for that document, and I'm claiming $1 million for each of my children, and then, for the loss of the life, and you keep going on that until you got your final fault claim judgment for what you're claiming for damages. Okay. Now, when that's done, and you send them that, they got 10 days to pay. Well, when they don't pay, and they're not going to pay because that would be a confession.
Right. Then we go.
Now
I
you
have
can start discovering
the sheriff and the writ, and then we go to commercial banks, and then we can either
right. And you're going to get paid no matter what they do. You get paid. Who cares what they say or think? Right. And they can stand there and beak, and make fun of your admiralty, your maritime law. They can do whatever they want, but they'll be really quiet then. They won't say anything. Because they're you shut up or I'll nail the other foot to the floor.
Right.
You like that, bitch?
Yeah. Right.
See, they're just liars and thieves, so you can just keep nailing them.
Well,
but
yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just I'm just getting ready myself to start the rest of my day here and get to work and stuff. So I don't want to. I hate to cut you off.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You go ahead, you do your homework and start, weeding through your documents. I'm sure you got lots of them, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me today, and I'll talk to you more next week.
Okay, thank you very much, Christina. You have a great day.
You too, thanks.
Okay. Bye for now.